Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about understanding that with the conjugate system, our goal is to get strong at every angle, to be strong at all angles, to be good at multiple rep ranges, multiple training modalities. And so this is just some training clips taken over about a 2-week period of time in December. And you guys will notice if you look at some of the max effort work you see me doing, it's a pretty wide variety there. You'll notice on my upper days I did a pin bench, right? And this was right after a meet, by the way. I'd just done a powerlifting meet and then walked right into this training block. So, I didn't even peak for that meet either, by the way. Just walked in, broke a couple state records, and for my class, right, for my age and weight class. And I didn't really water cut. I kind of went in at more or less my walk around weight. I dropped a couple pounds for it. So, and I eased right back into training. So what you see there is a pin bench press. You'll notice then I do an incline bench press. So no bands or chains used there. But then we get over to the deadlifts, and I did conventional deadlift against around approximately 75 pounds of band tension, which you'll see up next. Then for the max effort squat in that rotation, I did a buffalo bar box squat running 50 pounds of chains, which you'll see in the rotation. So when you look at the max effort lifts, these are not exactly the classic lifts. We still max on those occasionally, but the whole point here is that we want to get all around strong. And if you have enough equipment, such as someone like me who has a well-equipped gym, oftentimes we will max on exercises that represent our weakest links. In other words, for me on a wider grip bench, if I don't close grip, as the meet I did a closed grip and kind of stuck in the middle. But on a wider grip bench, I tend to stick really close to the chest. So we did a pin bench about an inch off the chest, and then of course we did an incline. And incline work itself helps you get more powerful off the chest, right? That's one of the big perks of the incline bench. It's very good at getting you more explosive immediately off the chest. So I chose variations of things that represent my sticking points, and then we just change them up and keep maxing on different exercises. The same thing with the deadlift. I stick right about the knee, so band tension that hits peak tension right about the knee challenges me the most. Okay, now I didn't necessarily do that on squats. I think my quads are starting to limit my squats a little bit, quads and adductors. So, but I didn't pick that. I just went with something different that I hadn't done in a while. And you're also allowed to do that. Then you look at like the assistance work. It's basically the heavy work under about 10 reps. On conjugate, you do, maybe 2 a week. 1 for upper, 1 for lower. You don't really want to do more assistance work than that. I did floor presses, and I did heavy cambered bar good mornings. Again, kind of representing where I tend to stick on movements a little bit. The floor press, again, fantastic for people who miss a few inches off the chest. So I did that. Of course, I did incline work too, but there's my incline max. So that's what I did. Same thing with the good mornings. I do notice my squats tend to stick well above, coming out of the hole. They tend to stick. I tend to miss a little further up. So I did a good morning to, again, help with that hip hinging through that part, even though I do know I need to bring my quads and legs up further. Same thing. I mean, the good morning is just an all-around good deadlift accessory as well. All right, and then we go over to all the hypertrophy work and speed work through the week. You'll notice that that week of training, because for this phase, I've been switching squats and deadlifts for speed days on lowers, whereas then we always bench on the upper day. So I did just bench press against chains for the dynamic work. For the dynamic lower, I did conventional deadlifts against heavy chains. Then you just look at all this other work. What's everything else that's been thrown in here? Well, then from there, we just get all around big. You'll see a lot of rowing, a couple different types of rows were done that week. A lot of JM presses for my triceps, a lot of incline benching, a little overhead pressing, some hammer curls to help with biceps, to help with grip strength. For lower body, it was belt squats with a wide stance, going deep, taking weight off, going fairly light on those so that I can get the deepest range of motion possible for high reps so that we work quads and adductors further. Lots of good mornings. glute ham raises against bands, reverse hyperextensions. And then, of course, I do sled work, and GPP. So if you look at all this stuff, what are we looking at? We are doing maxes to where we rotate an upper and a lower every week. We change the maxes up so that you get good at straining, you get good at grinding. And in an optimal environment with enough equipment, you would pick mostly max effort movements that teach you to push harder or to strain through where you're weakest, either muscularly or through that part of the range of motion. Okay, and it doesn't mean I'm doing a bunch of partials. I'm doing stuff like running band tension, right around to where the bands kick in hard where I miss. Doing bench press variations that really challenge you right off the chest, that remove your ability to use leg drive and things like that, such as the pen benches. We could also use a floor press for that, incline bench. But in that case, I'm not really doing a lot of chain and band work because I'm not sticking at the lockouts. So those take a lower priority. See how this works? We get all around strong. You get good at all these different exercises on maxing. Same thing, we can max on those good mornings. We do big assistance movements to help with those movement patterns, again, that will seem to have the best carryover to where we're weakest or our best carryover in general. Then we do lots and lots of hypertrophy work because we need to be as big as possible. Size equals strength potential. So what else do we do? Because the stuff you're not seeing, all the conditioning work, weight vest walks, sled drags, prowler work. I do a lot of prowler pushing. I do a lot of walking in my 40, I guess it's a 42 or 44 pound vest. It's 20 kg Rogue vest. I do a lot of walking in that. So why do we want the GPP? Well, besides heart health and being a good athlete, it helps with work density. It helps you recover faster between sets. So a lot of these people who watch my vlogs will notice a lot of stuff is supersetted. I want higher work density. We need to be in shape to do that. Because if we can get the work done, we get in, get an enormous training stimulus, get out of the gym and get back to recovering. Get back to gaining muscle, get back to growing. Even when we're in a cutting phase, we want to be implementing that. We want to be maximizing hypertrophy, maximizing recovery. So that being in shape helps you get those workouts done quicker. You get done with the catabolic process of breaking down muscle tissue and training. You stimulate as much as you can and get out of there. And people say, well, what if I want to get into better shape? Well, then do conditioning work, do more sled dragging. Do more cardio. Don't use the weights for that. We lift weights to get big and strong. But in this case, the whole idea here is we do every rep range. We're doing heavy singles. We're doing, again, some 5s and 8s and things for assistance. Then tons of 10 plus rep sets. Some of the stuff goes up to 40 or 50 for some things, like band press downs and stuff, sometimes ab work. All rep ranges are trained. We do lots of conditioning. We train to get strong at every single angle. We train everything concurrently on this system, and that's the idea. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.